We focus on history, culture, religion, art, social, and philosophy of Nusantara.
Here, in the presence of Nusantara, we were made to be forgotten about the goodness of ourselves. Because negativity seems to be more interesting for us. Now, I'm Sutoyo Raharto and friends assist you to remind you, to awaken you that we still can find the gems of Nusantara. They are the great sights of Nusantara. Bisa bahasa Indonesia?
Ya, bisa sedikit, masih belajar. Bapak bisa bahasa Cina?
Bisa. Saya ya bisa. Saya
普通话。
普通话，yeah.
我也会说中文。
我在北京嘛，我在北京6年。
你在北京呢？
你以前在中国吗？
对，以前我在中国2年了。我在中国读书。
什么城市
什么城市？第1年在金华，浙江省。
金华，
呀。
在北京。
不是在北京，在杭州。
在杭州。
附近的地方，杭州、浙江。但是第2年在北京，我非常喜欢北京。
kita harus ngomong bahasa Indonesia.
Iya, harus. Jadi saya belajar di Cina, di Beijing, di
Hangzhou.
Di Culture and Language and Culture University.
Language and Culture University.
北语文化大学。北语文化大学。
BLCU.
Yes.
Okay.
Yeah.
What year?
What year? 2013, 2015.
Just recently.
Yeah, more or less recently.
I was there in 98.
Yeah. Quite long, yeah.
98 to 2004.
So you lived there or just?
I took my bachelor.
You studied there.
Yeah.
So you're from China, originally from China?
No. I'm Indonesian. I was born in Indonesia. Yeah. My grandparents from China.
Okay.
Yeah.
Bagus. I don't have parents, and like I'm the only one in my family who travels. Because I'm from the simple family. Like my family is not rich or not famous, let's say, and I'm like by myself.
Okay. Wow. Okay. Let's begin. Vladimir Kiri, is it?
Yes, correct. Vladimir Kiri.
Selamat sore, Vladimir Kiri. You are Orientalist and child of all nations. Of course, you took from Pramudia Anantatur.
Correct. Yeah.
Pramudia Anantatur book, is it available in Russia?
Yes, but there is no Russian translation, I guess. Not yet. Maybe there was like very old, but right now, currently, it's hard to find. What I found, it's Bumi Manusia. There is Bumi Manusia in
Bumi
Russian.
Manusia in Russian.
Yes.
Wow.
In Russian language, yes.
Goosebumps. I'm so amazed by him.
Yeah, agree. That's why I took this Child of All Nations, because actually this is one of the first books books I've read in Jakarta, and maybe it was a kind of close to me because I also love culture, I also love history, and this feeling maybe was really close to what I felt, and that's why I was, when you travel from country to country, sometimes you are lost because you don't know where you live and which country or city you belong to, right? So, and this is a kind of also a mass of my feelings, maybe, that represents this expression. That's why I took it as a kind of my logo, emotional logo feelings.
Oke. Vladimir, Anda menulis mengenalkan budaya Indonesia lewat lukisan saya di Rusia. Sejak kapan Mas Vladimir dengar kata Indonesia ini?
I have my life is full of very interesting stories, and I guess it's like a kind of faith that it happened that I came to Indonesia because, as you said, I'm Orientalist. And before I studied in China, I studied Chinese language, I studied Chinese art also. My life was concentrated on China. But after, when I studied my master's degree in Moscow, so we had students from over the world, especially from Asia, like including Indonesia, Myanmar, Indonesia, China also. And at the time, I didn't know about Indonesia at all, like zero. I couldn't speak language. I couldn't.
When was it? When was it?
It was 2015, 2017. So right after China, I came to Moscow to study Asian studies, to continue my master's degree. And I always I had already friends Indonesian here in Moscow, but I kind of avoided Indonesia because I always studied China, and Indonesia was new for me. And it's a kind of paradox when you try to avoid something, it happens that like you are involved into this. Because by finishing my master's degree, I got contract to go to Indonesia. And my main mistake was, that's how I heard about Indonesia, like that I'm going to Indonesia, to Jakarta. That's all what I knew. And after that, I thought it was my main mistake because I thought Indonesia maybe has something similar to China, and I thought that maybe this experience of living in China could help me to survive. And I was totally wrong because huge language barrier, cultural knowledge was zero also. For me, it was, I got cultural shock for 1 year. So I lived in Jakarta for 2 years, and I got like 1 year of cultural shock.
Wow.
It was very hard, but maybe my experience can help somebody, who is going to move to another country. What I did is I tried to integrate with the society as much as I could. I love culture, and I love people. I love simple life of Indonesian people. For me, it's a huge inspiration, and that's why it didn't bother me. Because sometimes Asian people, how they react to foreigners, bully, bully, and for me it didn't bother me. I was always happy to see new people, to meet new people, and I love art since my childhood. That's why I went to different museums, to Pasar Seni di Ancol, saya juga wawancara beberapa pelukis jalanan juga, di Kota Tua, and so on. So I also ordered some paintings from them. It was like my support to a local culture. Yeah, because I know how hard it is, and people are so nice, friendly, and I wanted like to help them, and I asked them for some orders for some paintings, just simple one, like sketches, yeah. And since that time, I started even to collect some art, like batik, something unique, traditional, and brought it to Russia here from Indonesia. And that's how I started to got involved into this art more and more. This culture really fascinated me a lot. And yeah.
Why your university sent you here?
This was a kind of project. I studied at London
Exchange
School. Yes,
student? Oh, okay.
kind of. Yeah, it was. I studied in London School of Public Relations in Jakarta. But at the same time, I also worked there. So from Monday to Friday, I worked, and on Saturdays, I studied my second master's degree in international communication studies. So I have already like 2 master's degree, and it's mostly about like Asia, right? So my life is, I guess maybe in my previous life I was Asian.
Oh. Wow, you
Yes,
talk about the
and
previous life.
yes,
You
I
must be
guess.
Hindu or Buddhist.
I don't reject any religion, I'm like child of all nations. I support all my friends. Like I have friends from all over the world of different religions and so on. So for me, it's not a problem. I was always taught to have curiosity. Every researcher has to have curiosity to know more, to develop yourself and science. Yeah? And it was a kind of collaboration between my university in Moscow and university in Jakarta, and it was a kind of scholarship on like with the conditions that I need to work also, because as you know, majority of universities are private, and that's why they have their own types of scholarships and these programs. Yeah, that's how I came to Jakarta.
Wow. Wow.
Yeah, that's why maybe
Apa?
like my biggest advice to everyone who is going to visit another country, just don't try to reject, don't try to isolate yourself, because I know cases when Russian people, they try to isolate themselves from the society, from culture, from the surrounding, and they suffered a lot. In the result, they give up, and they like even couldn't finish their study. But try to, yeah, it's really hard psychologically, it's hard, especially language barrier, cultural differences and so on. But try step by step, try to find what you love to do, yeah, and try to apply your favorite activities in this country with this nation. Don't look for troubles or what you don't like, right? Just try to concentrate on what you really love and try to find this in this country, and after that you will succeed for sure.
Apa imajinasi Anda tentang Indonesia pertama kali? Seperti China.
Yeah, first, like I thought before coming to Jakarta, I thought it's like something similar to China.
Beijing or Hangzhou.
Yes, but the difference is in China, for example, I could speak Chinese, and before to go into China, I studied Chinese language for 2 years. So I already had like knowledge. I had Chinese friends here. I already was ready. My mentality and psychologically, I was ready to go to that country. But in Indonesia, I wasn't ready. And language barrier, when I went out, I ordered Gojek and and what to say? They don't understand. They don't speak English. And I like, for me it was shocking because like, what is it? But as I said, yeah, the more I was involved into culture, the more I was like impressed. And as far as I was almost alone there, only one Russian in the like the surrounding, I was full of feelings, you know, like I wanted to blow up because I was like over over full, overwhelmed with these feelings, and I wanted to share with everyone, and especially with my family also, like to show them the other world. It was very impressive, unique, colorful, yes. And that's how I started to paint in Indonesia. So I started to express my own feeling. It was like psychological strategy, you know, like to release to release all your emotions on canvas. And as you see, it's been happening until today. So I'm still full of this, and that's why like I'm still doing this job.
Oke. Mengapa budaya Indonesia waktu di Cina juga doing the
Yes.
same thing, painting, or
Yeah, I've been painting the whole my life.
okay,
But
okay.
it was more childish painting, you know. It wasn't something it was my dream to paint. But I grew up in a very in kampung, and there was no any chance to develop, to go to art school or something. And as I said, my family is so simple, like nobody even thought about like sending me to school to study art or something. Everything I have for today, I educated like myself by myself, let's say, self-educated, yeah. And in China, when I arrived China, I immediately found calligraphy course, and I studied calligraphy in China also, besides language. And also in Moscow, when there was a chance, I took some classes of Gohua, Gonbi, and Mogofa, like these orientations, art orientations, yeah, Chinese painting. And I have some paintings. But the thing is, like, you know, maybe it's too much China here already. I mean, like, lots of experts, many dimensions. There are already schools in Moscow, Chinese schools, like, of art, of paintings, of Gohua. In terms of Indonesia, not really. So this is a kind of also like a kind of your question, whether there is no competition or not. Of course, there are experts in Indonesian studies, Indonesian language, yeah, but there are no people who do this through art. This is a new niche, really something new. And why? No, of course, for example, if there is competition or something, I don't know how the reaction or the result. But for example, at the beginning of this pandemic, I had to come back to Russia, yeah, because of this difficult situation. And I started to paint in April. And this was absolutely different quality of paintings. So it wasn't like, you know, there is like a big gap. Before it was like a kind of childish, like early, and this in April last year, it was something like all my friends, because I usually didn't show it to the public, it was all like I painted only for myself, just to release emotions. And after I started to paint Indonesian, it's like every friend who had a chance to see my painting, they were like amazed, what is it? it's so like beautiful in terms of culture, and they don't understand what is it. And when I try to explain them, like this is, for example, wayang golek, yeah, like puppets from Indonesia, like wearing batik and so on, and they were even more fascinated when I started to explain. They were like, wow, oh, like really liked it. And I noticed that, not only like my family said, oh, that's good, like family usually support each other, but also like people from like who can say, no, I don't like it, or something like this. And even like experts who like I know, I'm in the circle of people who speak Indonesian language, Russian. Yes, they teach Indonesian language in universities in St. Petersburg, in Moscow. Even they accepted my art, because I know those people, they are academic scientists, yeah, so they can criticize. Like if they don't see the value of it, maybe they wouldn't tell anything. But in the result, some of them even bought my paintings.
Oh, wow.
Yeah, so for me, it was a sign. So this is because every artist has to find his way and style, yeah, to express his talent or to send the message. And my painting is the message from me to Russian people about Indonesian culture, about my experience and about my knowledge. And that's why it's not about competition here mostly. First of all, it's about my feeling that I really love it. This is the way, because scientists write articles, yeah, to contribute. Some people do blogs or vlogs. I do art. Because, in terms of science, you also need to have your own vision, right? You need to write about your expertise, education, communication, or politics, and so on. In art, it's also, you even cannot imagine, like all my Russian friends, when I post in Instagram, they say, again, Indonesia, where is Russia? Where is where is nature? Where is something? Where is Russia? Why Indonesia? And I cannot. That's what I want to do. Like, that's what I have desire for today. About Indonesian culture.
Vladimir, pernah lihat lukisan Indonesia di Rusia sebelumnya? Nggak pernah. Okay.
No, never. Of course, we have museums, like for example, Oriental Museum, yeah, of Oriental art. Sometimes they have exhibitions, and but it's quite limited, And of course, there is collection. There is Southeast Asian department, and there is some small collection from Indonesia. But something big and something usual, because it's only in one place, in big museum, but in like everyday life, like in Indonesia we have, yeah, or like we have Russian art here. Not really. I've never met this. Even Chinese art is spreading right now. More exhibitions, embassy supports also. Like people do art also, like in many cities already, not only in Moscow. So it's like becomes more popular, yeah, widespread. About Indonesia, no. That's why, like, I guess it's a kind of destiny, because I've never thought to exhibit my art. And in the end of summer, I got a chance, just proposal in Instagram, like there is a chance to exhibit like few paintings. And by that time, and I was during this pandemic, I started to paint more like every day, and I produced maybe around 30 or 40 paintings, or yeah, maybe more, like every day, different size. And I decided, why not, to try to exhibit like experience, yeah. And it was so impressive and amazing, because I was feeling like it was my personal exhibition, because all people were there around, all around my art. And I also like was wearing Indonesian batik, belangkon, yeah. And I brought even this wayang cepot, yeah. And they were like so impressed. So it was a kind of performance, you know, and people were curious about what is it, what does it mean, about all this ornament, batik ornament, about the image itself, the meaning. And for me, it also was a sign that there is a value of this. And after this, yeah, I produced another painting, big. It was a huge challenge for me, because before I painted only small size paintings, yeah. And so this one that is behind me, the big, it's almost 2 meters paintings, yeah, like 1 meter 70 maybe centimeters tall. And I exhibited in the international competition here in Moscow. It was huge, also like 3 stories building, and there were like more than, I don't know, more than 100 or 200 people participated. So it's a huge event. And for me, my message was, because such wayangs, huge, yeah, I saw in Jakarta, in malls. It's like modern wayang, because traditional wayang, they are so simple, you know, like they are short, like usual size. But this is one already like modern, like to attract foreigners' attention, like to show the modernity, yeah, evolution of wayang, let's say, I don't know. And I decided to produce the painting which reflects the reality and modernity of wayang right now in Jakarta. That's why this painting I called like wayang and modern Indonesia, that to show the evolution, like, so different batik ornament, yeah, so it's more bright, colorful, and huge also. And yeah, of course I was worried that whether I could take a place or not. And yeah, I took the third place, and for me it was huge achievement, because it was my only second exhibition in my life.
Wow, wow. Vladimir, going back to what we
Yep.
just talked just now about Indonesia in
Mhm.
Russia, what is the mind of the thinking of most Russian when they heard Indonesia? Do they know
Bali.
this country? Oh, Bali. Okay.
Actually, yeah, the main is Bali. Thing. The other thing, like actually, the embassy of Indonesia, they do a really great job, because they do lots of activities here. Before there were like, before pandemic, there were festivals where people could dance, yeah, traditional dance like Javanese dance or Balinese dance. Right now, you can also attend courses for free. It's Bahasa course, gamelan. I'm attending gamelan and like studying to play a little bit. And also, you can dance here, like Javanese, or study Javanese, Balinese dance. It's just like course, just like cultural things, you know, like
Yeah.
to introduce. But generally, and of course, it's very limited, yeah, like maybe people who already went to Indonesia, or maybe like me, who studied Asian studies, because there are still students who take like Indonesian studies as their major. But it's also very limited. I mean, the majority of people, they're not familiar, they don't know. They even like Malaysia, Indonesia. For them, it's something like all the same, you know. Like when I say Indonesia, sometimes they forget and they say Malaysia, some like
Okay.
mix,
Yeah, yeah,
mess.
yeah. Okay.
And that's why my art is also a kind of message to introduce Indonesian culture, because all my paintings, they have history behind. I study and I read about Indonesian culture, about wayang every day. Mostly every day I do something, like every 3 minutes I paint or I read to, like, because without reading and without understanding this, I cannot paint.
Oh, okay. Okay.
Yeah, I cannot put my love and emotions into this.
Okay. Okay.
And that's why maybe something like this. And and one of my paintings, actually already many of my paintings, they are in educational organizations in different
Oh.
schools, with which I have some connections. Yeah, I was working there before or something, and so they have my paintings of wayang on their walls. And also one of my paintings is in the office of ambassador of Indonesia in Moscow.
Oh, okay. Okay.
So I also presented them one of my paintings, and they really loved it. So they even hang it on the wall in the office. For me, it's it's a big achievement, for sure.
Mhm. Vladimir, it is amazing that you won the third place at Russian Art Week,
Yeah.
International Exhibition and Competition of Modern Art. Meanwhile, some Indonesians feel that wayang is an ancient thing.
Yes.
Yeah, it is so ridiculous actually. What makes the jury feel that your wayang is beautiful and you won the third place?
Yes, for me, because there are basic criteria, yeah, but for me, maybe perhaps they didn't really know what is it, because when when I was given diploma, they asked me, could you explain a little bit to our audience
Okay.
about this culture? And for me, it was a great chance because the audience was quite big, and I was proud that because of this, my art and winning place, I could communicate with the audience and explain like about Indonesia. Yes, at least little bit. And but in terms of criteria, I guess first of all, it's like uniqueness. It's something new, original, something not similar to other works. Also, I guess size, because size is quite like human being. And they usually evaluate what textures, techniques, yeah, and all this like basic criteria, I guess. But what I feel, for me, it's a kind of still like uniqueness and unusual thing.
Okay.
I guess. Or maybe message, because nomination was national elements. So maybe they could feel this national culture of Indonesia. I don't know, because art sometimes it's like you can feel something, right?
Yes, yes, yes.
Whether you like it or not. Something like this. Yeah. And I also, for me, I also think that it's also a kind of, because right now I also study, as I told you before, that I communicated with many artists, local artists, and I analyze their works also. Because Indonesian artists and art still has its own unique style and uniqueness. And like I've read like history, development, yeah, and there should be continuation and development of art. Yeah, if there is no continuation and development, so the period finishes.
Yes, yes.
So maybe that's what I also want to try to do through my art.
Wow. Wow. Apakah ada kesamaan antara seni rupa Rusia dan seni rupa Indonesia? Warna, texture, or what?
Of course, I guess all art, they got influenced by some European trends, yeah, by different like events that happened in this country and that country, like in Indonesia, like revolution also, yeah, or different conflicts or difficulties. It's like, you know, when nation got suffered emotionally from conflicts, from revolution, and they started to paint something new. It happened to me when I was in Jakarta, and it was hard time for me in a good meaning, right? It was like challenge. And that's why I represented in my art like that I'm not giving up. I still like, of course I had lots of troubles in Indonesia, but still I try to get rid of them and give only positive perspective of the country. Because of course I could do whatever, right, through my art. It could be totally negative, but in my main feeling and message is to introduce the beauty and uniqueness, yeah, history. And that's why I study also like from local artists, modern artists, and also analyze works of like artists from different era, yeah, from the past. They still have this uniqueness, which Russia doesn't have. I mean, Russia has its own uniqueness, right? Especially nature and different like national elements. In Indonesia has its uniqueness, yeah, and of course wayang is one of them. It's only the matter how the artist transmit this uniqueness. And I want to, of course, in my head I have a big message, and I want to prepare myself for a big exhibition, personal exhibition.
When is it?
I don't know. I'm working on it because I don't have, because the majority of my paintings, they are sold.
Wow.
And yes, it's also surprisingly for me.
I love the Garuda that you paint.
Yes, actually, I prepared some of my paintings that left. So this is
wow, this is beautiful.
Yeah, thank you. So
yeah.
So this is what I left. That left, yes, from.
And this one is also beautiful.
Yeah.
Yes. Yes.
So this is like a couple.
Amazing.
And also I'm working on some new paintings. Yesterday I just finished. I haven't showed it yet. It's still wet. This is like I want to introduce to Russian people about wayang cepak.
Okay.
So this is like a small, simple painting.
But I love your Garuda so much. It's very, very, very Bali.
Oh yeah, like
not
yeah. You can feel it, yeah.
Not very Russia. Very Bali.
Yeah, not Russia. that's what I want to try. And right now I'm working also on another, but it's not finished. It's just usually I don't show my paintings which are not finished, because sometimes when I show I lose my connection.
Oh, okay.
But okay, for today I make an exception, and I'll show you that what I'm working on. It's also big Balinese. It's going to
Wow.
be
Wow.
yeah,
Wow.
but it's also going to be bigger than Garuda, and
Yeah.
so this
Wow.
is what I'm
This is
working
also
on.
amazing.
Lion, yeah,
Lion.
Balinese.
Barong.
No, it's not. It's not Baron. It's different Balinese lion
Oh, okay. Mhm.
also, but it's still long journey.
Yeah, I love the purple.
Yeah. So like this, but I also have like from Balinese. I still have, because sometimes I use this is like takes long time. Yeah, maybe weeks, if every day, because sometimes, for example, this is I painted for around 10 days, but every day I spent around 8 hours.
Okay. Uh-huh.
So it took, because I was in rush to finish it with the exhibition.
But
And this is
yeah, you can enter the. I mean, you really deeply know and understand the color of
yeah, that's what
green, green and yellow and everything, and brown.
some of experts in Indonesian studies, like who like professors, yeah, that's what they also comment, that I really feel the color of Indonesian culture.
Yes. And how did you learn that one?
Just feel it. This
Okay.
is also like
Rasa.
very, yeah, this is like
Wow. Yeah, I love this one also. Wow, this is beautiful. This one in Instagram,
yeah,
yeah.
this is yeah, I have some on Instagram. And if you notice, I got my Instagram only in April last year. All before that, it was just only for me, it just was my way to get rid of stress. This is also like,
Chepot,
yeah,
yes, this is also in
yes,
Instagram. This is
Chipot,
beautiful
because
also.
what I wanted to show like Chipot is a good character, because everyone, they think that this wayang is like scary, like, oh, what is it? It's like something, especially this Chipot is red, right? Something like
Yes.
evilish. And my message to explain, no, it's good image, it's all positive. And yeah, this is my last late, yeah, like very quick also.
Yes. This one, Samar.
Yeah, this is
Yeah,
like
this is.
made, or I painted on the paper. So this is like when I want in a field of expressionist, like very fast. That's also a signature of Indonesian art.
Oh, okay. Mhm.
Because what I also like was the difference between Indonesia and Russia. In Indonesia, everyone can become an artist. You're not judged. Everyone can get support from other Indonesians, from other artists. They love their culture. Indonesian people, they love their culture so much that no matter how beautiful you paint, it's still beautiful for them.
Really.
Yes, that's what I feel, because I've been studying and observing this a lot. And no matter what you do, it can be just sketch, and people can comment, wow, like, good job, I love it. And for me, it's amazing, because in Russia we don't have it.
Oh, okay.
In
Okay.
Russia, you have to create masterpiece. Maybe for 2 years you have to paint it in order to get something like, there is different value, I guess.
Okay.
This is my experience, I guess, my feeling.
The one story that I heard about
Yeah.
Russia during the war, when Napoleon wants to attack
Mhm.
Russia, the everyone in the palace keep all of the painting. Is it true?
Well, I don't. I have.
Oh, you don't know the
I
history.
haven't heard about it, but
Oh,
well, it needs to be checked. I mean, I cannot uh, take for sure, but of course, for example, these galleries that we have in Moscow right now, like big galleries, yeah, like Tretьяков, of course they it's collectors' work, so they collect it, and after it has become a gallery. So
you,
of course, art is valued here.
yes, yes.
But I guess it's a different value, because if I said from Indonesian, right? Like, I don't know, they have different understanding of beauty maybe. And they have different feeling of cultural identity. Because like, look, every artist paints national emblems, national elements, wayang, right? Lots of paintings about wayang, about Garuda. And I think every artist in Indonesia at least once or three times painted this wayang or Garuda or Balinese dance
Yes,
and
yes,
so
yes.
on. But here in Russia, we don't really have this. It's mostly what? Nature or some, I guess it's related mostly to natural atmosphere. There is no like the majority of like national heroes. Like I don't know. At least I didn't hear about it. Right? So if it's a trend, everyone would hear about it even without going to the museum. Also iconic, yeah, like icons, Christian
Yeah, yeah.
icons. I mean,
Mhm.
also
Church,
popular. Yeah, church
church
also
bells.
popular here. That's why I guess that's the main difference between like feeling. Indonesians are so proud to present Indonesian national culture elements to the world. But Russian people, more, I guess, they still follow European standards. There is no this national elements in art, I guess. I mean, a lot of modern people, yeah, they paint like flowers, nature. This is like our national beauty, yeah, beauty of nature, Mother Nature. But in terms of culture, like dance, I don't remember this. Something else cultural, also don't remember this. But in Indonesia, it's different.
We are maybe more grassroots. They say grassroots.
Yeah, maybe like,
More into people culture.
yes. And that what is
Yeah, yeah.
close to me, I guess. That I want to also help Indonesian people like to introduce this. Before I had a plan to come and study art with artists in Indonesia, but unfortunately the situation changed plans. Yeah.
Next time.
Yes. Also, I have plans regarding, for example, wayang beber. Right now, not many people in Indonesia they're familiar with wayang beber. My one of my goals is to study wayang beber and introduce this not only to Russian people but also to Indonesia, because for example sometimes foreigner can get this benefit, yeah, and to attract attention, so more people can know about his own culture actually, yeah,
Yeah.
because wayang beber is a bit like a bit forgotten as for me, what I've read, I've talked to many people who from Yogyakarta and surroundings. They said this art it's quite surviving, because all this wayang kulit is flourishing everywhere, but wayang beber is a bit shadow.
Old age.
Yes. A bit like outdated, for quoting.
Yes, outdated.
Old-fashioned and so on. But I'm impressed. And for me, it's like, wow, when I first heard about wayang beber, like last year only, I'm like, what is it? And I asked my friends, Indonesian, what is wayang beber? And we don't know. Like, you don't know what is wayang beber? They know, and they Google it and say, it's one of the wayang, like, one of the types of wayang. And I was like, wow, why even in Indonesian they don't know about it? And I started to read history in Indonesian language. Sometimes I help my friend, ask my friend to help to translate it, or I use dictionaries or consult with my friends who can speak better Indonesian, or translate it. And also write about it in Russian language, like to introduce this, because in English, there are a lot, but not many Russian people speak English.
Okay. Next time you have to take another master degree about wayang or dalang.
I don't know if you know some people, teachers, guru, who can teach me. Please let me know. I would be happy to talk to them and maybe to take a course, because I'm that person who is always developing, and it would be a great honor, a pleasure for me to study new techniques, especially this wayang beber. I really want to study these techniques. It's very unique, and I believe it can still can have a big value. Not only in Indonesia.
I can introduce you to a young guy who owns wayang beber museum.
Sekartaji.
Yogyakarta.
Wayang
yes,
beber
Sekartaji. You know him.
Yeah, we already follow each other. We contact each other, right? Personally, we haven't met, but I already I need a teacher. Help me, because sometimes when you want something and it's difficult to get, but I want, just teach me. I'm ready for this. And
maybe from Bali, because wayang beber is still being used in Bali.
But in Bali, it's different type of wayang beber.
Yes, but they use it for ritual.
Yeah. But in Java, this Javanese is still different. Also, these spongy tails different. Hopefully everything gonna be fine. And so if anyone here who is listening, attending, can help me or knows a person, teacher I can talk to, contact, please let me know.
Sure.
I would be happy.
I'll contact you.
Okay. I would be happy to have it. Maybe in the future we also can bring this exhibition to China.
Yes. Or I see you in Russia.
Or I see you in Russia. I also there is idea in my head that if there is a chance, to make this big exhibition with gamelan, with everything. So this is my perfect imagination, and even to make this city tour, to bring this exhibition from city to city, I guess it will be very interesting for, especially in small cities, because
Yeah.
in Moscow it's overfilled with everything. Yeah, you can go visit lots of museums, but in small cities, not really. And I guess it would be really interesting for people to attend such kind of exhibition full of culture. It's not only like exhibition, but maybe give lecture to tell about this art, culture, uniqueness. Yes, it's like kind of how to say it. It's like not secta, but I mean in a good meaning, of course. I mean a kind of interaction, yeah, cultural interaction.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Okay.
very interesting.
Thank you, Vladimir, for your time.
Yeah, thank you very much too. And
Thank you for your sharing. It's very wonderful.
yeah, I'm really happy that there are people who are interested in my art and who is very supportive, because I want to say thank you to everyone, because without your interest, without your support, I think I wouldn't go further. Only your even support from Indonesian side, yeah, even from some Russian people, scholars, scientists, some representative people, I wouldn't go further, and I guess less people would know about Indonesian culture. But with the help of yours, more Russian people can know about Indonesian culture through art, and hopefully I can bring this art and we can have new generation, yes, of
Thank you.
artists. That's how the art
Thank you so much.
and culture lives. Yeah,
Yes,
if there are
yes.
no people who supports, develops, it would die. But
Mhm.
alhamdulillah, yes, we can support.
We have to. Yeah, we have to meet in Moscow someday.
Yes, sure. We can meet when, like, I would be happy to meet whenever and wherever. Wherever there is a chance.
Child of all
Yeah,
nations.
wherever there is a chance.
Or maybe 可能在北京吧。
Yeah. And yeah, I have really lots of friends in Beijing, and they always like call me to go there to China. I really miss also China and Indonesia. It's like my two other motherlands. So always
Okay.
happy, yeah, to see.
Thank you so much, Vladimir.
Yeah, thank you very much, everyone.
Thank you so much. Yes.
Yeah, hopefully to see you again personally and virtually.